It's getting the hard away, Southern T. Back with another EP. And we bright and early, man. Appreciate everybody sliding through. We about to make it do what it do. What's good, yo? The wide. There's 7 people in here, but on 2 comments. Wonder how that shit work. But what's good, yo? The wide. Appreciate you sliding through this thing. TWT in the building. D Freezy. TWT in the building. D Free look like your cousin had them a busy night last night, Free. The Russell, your cousins made the headline, D Free. Your cousins made the headlines, D Free. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, man. We about to have us a boxing. Hold on, let me get this up on you. We about to have us a boxing conversation, man. It was I tell y'all this, right? Y'all remember how everybody was saying, you know, the card last night was a side walkover card. It's gonna be a boring card. You know, one of those good fights gonna be on that thing or nothing like that. Y'all remember how everybody was saying, that shit. Now, did y'all happen to actually peep this card out? Huh? This card last night is one of the reasons why we love boxing, right? Because things could supposed to go away, right? Somebody could be the favorite in the fight, right? Things could supposed to happen a certain way, right? But you never really know, right, until the actual fight shakes out and the actual fight takes place. You know what I mean? So let's start. Let's get right into the boxing conversation for you. Let's start from the very beginning, right? Now, you know, a lot of people, you know, was saying this card gonna be a cakewalk card, right? Easy card, cakewalk card. But it turned out to be the exact opposite last night. And let's take it from the top, right? On the early prelim card, right? Not even the prelim card, the early prelim card, right? You know, the great Lamont Peterson, right? He made his ring return to the ring. Lamont Peterson made his ring return to the ring, right? He said, "Why they messing with us, Philly people? We bothers nobody." Hey, y'all want? Hey, and then look, to your credit, Yoda. Meek was saying the whole time. Meek was like, "We ain't come here for that. We ain't come here for that. We ain't come here for that." They was talking shit back and forth, right? And then I think I think the Russells, you know how little Gary is, you know how Gary Senior is. I think they got, and Meek was like, man, I ain't come here for that. We ain't come here for that. Meek was actually calming everybody down. Meek was like, no, we ain't on that. Meek folks was the ones that wanted to press forward. The Russells was ready to press forward. Meek folks was ready to press forward. But Meek Mill was like, man, nah, we ain't on that. I came here to support. I ain't on that. You talking about my junk? Now, D Free. This what happened, D Free. This what happened, D Free. This what happened, D Free. They both were just Gary Russell was down there cheering. Gary Russell was down there cheering for Hector. Meek Mill and his side was down there supporting Tank, right? And they just started talking shit back and forth. What it sounded like what Meek said was, Meek, hey, y'all do your boy a favor. It's 12 of y'all in here. Y'all smash that like button for your boy. YouTube already this morning, they already on making all my videos yellow. They already made my first jump yellow. They already made this one yellow. I ain't even started yet. But guess what? Shout out to all y'all, because yesterday, both them marathons, right? The first one did like 3,000, close to 4. The other one did like 7,000, like near 8, right? Both the marathons was green. So we got through both marathons yesterday without one single problem. All green. But I wake up bright and early and they already want to send my shit yellow. Ain't that bad a bitch. Miss Joette, what's good, Queen? Appreciate you sliding through. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Queen. Glad you can make it. Glad you can make it. Dope. Dope, right? Motherfucking dope. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, so we can start with that. Y'all see y'all already high. We got Philly in the building. We got DC in the building. Boxing MMA, what's good, Boxing? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Boxing. Yeah, D Free. Yeah, all the time. Do what you do when it's your shit, D Free. When it's your shit, D Free, you can hit the James Brown in this bitch. When it's your shit. Feel me, D Free? Hell yeah. Can he do the James Brown in these pants? Yeah. But anyway, I digress, right? So, all right, let's go and get into the Gary Russell and Meek Mill situation. Let's go and get into the Gary Russell and Meek Mill situation. He said Tank Davis got him good in the 8th round. Shout out to my guy, Devon Griffin. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Devon. Glad you can make it, pimp. Glad you can make it. Glad you can make it, pimp. Glad you can make it. I say this. I was highly entertained. I say this. Hector Garcia took some of the most flush shots I ever seen somebody take from Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Shout out Hector Garcia. Hector, you did your damn thing, Hector, right? And I learned something, right, in this fight. I learned something about all the superstars. This was a star-studded card, right? We had Tank. We had good and bad. Now, good and bad. Y'all gonna like some of this shit? Y'all ain't gonna like some of this shit. You know what I mean? Good and bad, right? But, everybody was saying, this is a superstar card. I learned something about these fighters last night. I learned something about Tank. I learned something about Boots. I learned something about Speedy Rashidi Ellis, right? I learned something about boxing. The old saying about boxing, now I start with them, right? It's an old saying in boxing that says, Father Time is undefeated, right? This is a young man's game, right? Y'all know the sayings in boxing, right? Basically, it's a bunch of sayings telling us how, boxing is a young man's sport, right? So let's go back earlier, right? Like I was saying in the beginning, let's get back on track now, right? Like I was saying in the beginning, this card was supposed to be the A-side card, right? But we should have known, right, even from the early prelims, right, it was something in the air. Lamont Peterson made his comeback fight, right? Lamont Peterson from DC. They put Lamont Peterson on the card for a DMV area card, right? So I understand. They put Lamont Peterson on the card. Lamont Peterson got stopped in the first round. Not sure if too many of y'all know, but Lamont Peterson got stopped in the first round of this fight. My bad. Lamont Peterson got stopped in the first round of his return fight, right? So my first lesson of the day was I learned that Father Time most definitely is undefeated, right? Because he lost to a guy that was 16-16. Ain't no way in the heaven that guy was supposed to beat Lamont Peterson. He said, yeah, we was talking about some shit going to happen, right? There is no way in the heaven a dude 6-6 was supposed to beat Lamont Peterson, right? So the card goes on, right? Speedy Rashidi Ellis versus Roman Villa. Now, I did a fight breakdown and prediction. I picked Speedy Rashidi Ellis to win this fight. And I was wrong on my prediction because Speedy Rashidi Ellis lost this fight, right? From about round 1 till about round 7. And even most of round 7, right? Speedy Rashidi Ellis was dominating this fight. Speedy Rashidi Ellis, right? He looked like everything that I thought Speedy Rashidi Ellis was. Now, I did a breakdown on this fight before the fight started. And I said, before the fight card, I said this shit like on Tuesday or Wednesday. I said, Speedy Rashidi Ellis versus Roman Villa is going to be the best fight, the most entertaining, the hardest fight on this card. I said Speedy Rashidi Ellis has the hardest matchup on this card. I got 12 people in the building. I got 10 likes. I didn't have more than 12 of y'all come through here. So if y'all could do your boy solid, smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Greatly appreciate you sliding through on this Sunday morning. Y'all help keep the likes with the views. Y'all get your boy right. Y'all jab that thumbs up for your boy. Right? He said, I kept saying yesterday that an upset was going to happen. Yep, you did, D-Free. Right? So before the card even started, right, I was telling people, hey, Speedy got the hardest fight on the card. You know what I mean? I was like, this Villa dude, ain't nothing to play with. He go come forward on Speedy. Right? And originally, I said, you know what? Speedy go win this fight on the cards. And then I stopped myself. I said, no, because Roman Villa is a come forward fighter. He's the kind of guy that's going to force Speedy Rashidi Ellis to have to put him out. So I took Speedy Rashidi Ellis by knockout, right? And my prediction, everything that I said happened, right? Speedy Rashidi Ellis, at least in the beginning, right? Speedy Rashidi Ellis started out damn near perfect, right? Looking like an elite, looking like the next up, looking like we was about to get our wish of that Speedy Rashidi Ellis and Jaron boost in this fight. It was set up on the platforms, right? And then something happened. I don't know what the fuck happened, right? I can only make a guess, right? I can only assume, right? I can only go off what I seen and try to make that relative to what's going on, right? So the only thing that I can see, the only thing that I can explain what happened to Speedy Rashidi Ellis is that he gassed. It looked like Speedy gassed. It looked like he used, he didn't even use a whole lot of movement early, but something happened in that fight where he took his foot off the gas. If he didn't gas, Teach, what's good, Teach? Appreciate you sliding through. Said she look good. I see a lot of people saying he gave up or didn't do enough. How the fuck can you do more if your gas tank ran out late? Sheedy was schooling that man majority of the 12 rounds. Sheedy wasn't cocky or anything. His tank just ran out. And that's what it's looking like to me. That's the only thing that I could see. right? That's the only thing that I can see, right? Is that his goddamn tank, is that his goddamn tank, is that he ran out of gas. Now, that's Speedy Rashidi Ellis's fault. That's all his fault. 100% that's his fault. You know what I mean? That's either a gas tank problem or that's either a fighting style problem. Because a lot of times we say fighters have gas tank issues, and yeah, that could be true. But a lot of times it's the style of fighting that makes you deplete your gas tank. You know what I mean? A guy having a gas tank and a guy not having a gas tank, most of the time it's just the style of fight that he's fighting. Necessary movement. D-Man, what's good, D-Man? Necessary movements versus unnecessary movements. You get what I'm saying? Speedy had not even a whole lot of them. He just had one too many. He had one too many unnecessary movement moments. It's like sometimes in that round, it's like sometimes at the beginning of that fight, right? Speedy will hit Villa and he'll kind of pose a little bit. Or he'll hit Villa and then he'll walk around the park, you know what I'm saying? To let us see that he hit him, right? That fight, when I went back to watch it, right? Because I watched it again this morning. That fight didn't even have to make it to 12 rounds. Speedy did a lot of unnecessary things, a lot of, he was admiring his work, right? When I felt like he could have been pressing Villa to get him out of there. Because Speedy, some people were saying Speedy, didn't have power. Speedy had the power on his shots early. I think Speedy let that fight go to a place that it didn't have to go. I feel like if Speedy had to really put it on Villa, instead of, punching him and then, admiring his work, punching him and taking walks around the park, you know what I mean? He let Villa gain confidence. He let Villa live, you know what I mean? He's a better fighter, right? On their best day, right? He's a better fighter than Villa, right? But compromise Speedy Rashidi Ellis, as we saw last night, they about even, right? Speedy Rashidi Ellis was compromised in the second half of that fight because of his gas tank issue. Now, I felt like he could have put that guy out of there before he even got to that because he was landing. Chris said, yeah, smiling and shit. He said he had to move a lot to avoid those shots, so I can't blame his movements. He needed to throw a lot of punches to score. Yeah, in fact, not even a lot of punches, just more punches. More punches. He wasn't offensive enough. He was landing his shots, and then he was moving. He should have been putting it on them more. Like early in that fight, if Speedy Rashidi had to let his hands go more, you know what I'm saying? Villa would have been a little more beat up and a little more tired. Speedy was landing scoring shots. He was being quick in there, right? But in boxing, man, this ain't the amateurs. You can't just be in there trying to score points and be quick. You got to put some oomph on your shots. Speedy didn't want to sit down on his punches because he didn't want to get hit by Villa punches. I get what you're saying, Teach. He used his movement to get away from the shots, but he should have made it count more on offense when he was throwing his shit. You know what I mean? He was using movement as the first option, the second option, and the third option, right? You got to mix it up a little bit. Let's look at Caleb Plant from Canelo to Darrell. Caleb Plant still used movement against Darrell. He just picked his spots to move. He picked his spots to get his off, and he picked his spots to counter. The problem is Speedy Rashidi Ellis ain't want to really counter. He ain't want to engage with him until he was tired. And then he didn't even have the power to keep Villa up off him. At that point, he didn't want to engage with him until he didn't have a choice. And that's one thing I will say about Terrence Crawford, right? That's one thing I will say about him. He might come out trying to box, right? But if that shit ain't working, he get up off his game plan early in the fight. And if he got to start sitting down on his punches more, he does that. Terrence Crawford know, okay, I'm not finna be able to move around. He's not going to let his gas tank even get depleted like that. I felt like Speedy Rashidi Ellis could have put it on Villa more because he was putting it on Villa for 7 rounds, right? But I felt like if he bite down, or look, let's say said when he catching him with those shots in the 4th round, if he start biting down in the 4th round, maybe he get him out of there by round 7, round 8. I think Speedy was second guessing his punches. Yeah, he was late. Yep, that's because he was tired. Speedy was second guessing everything late in that fight, D-Man. He was second guessing everything because he was tired. Fatigue do that to you. Fatigue, what they say, fatigue will make a hoe out of any man, right? Fatigue will make a hoe out of any man. And that the saying, he waited until, he had no choice. And he wasn't he waited until, just like the example I gave, right? How Caleb Plant, he still moved with the rail, but he sat down on his punches more. Like it was like half and half, right? It wasn't just all movement. Speedy chose all movement when he should have, made Villa feel him. He felt Villa. Villa made Speedy feel him, but Speedy should have made Villa made Speedy feel him, but Speedy should have made Villa feel him. You know what I mean? I felt like he respected his power too much. I felt like he fatigued because he let that fight go on. Because he ended up, you see, this the thing, right? When you running from it, you're going to have to face it anyway. You know what I mean? You're going to have to face it anyway. Respect a person's power. Don't be afraid of the power because you have to end up taking it and facing it anyway. Because he ended up knocking you down 3 times in the 12th. And you almost got out of there. And I think without the knockdowns, you do win that fight by about 3 or 4 rounds, by 3 or 4 points. But because of the knockdowns, you left it in the air. You get what I'm saying? But you can't run from it. It's better to go and face it, at the time that it need to be faced. You don't want to jump right in there the first 4 rounds and get it and try to knock out a power puncher now. But about that 4th or 5th round, you saw that you could hit him. You saw that you could touch him when you want. Speedy was supposed to impose himself. He was supposed to impose himself. And I'm going to get to Boo's fight next. And then we're going to talk about Tank fight. Mike, what's good, Mike? Appreciate you sliding through. Glad you can make it. Now, that Speedy done. That Speedy is done. That Speedy can't fuck with Boots. He don't have the gas tank. Boots is going to kill him when they get past the 8th round, bro. But that's what he said. Yeah, fatigue will make you hold yourself. Yeah, facts. D-Man. He said credit to Villa. He had somebody. Yeah, facts. I was saying from the beginning, Teach, Villa and Speedy is gonna be the best fight on the card. It's the toughest fight on the card. Speedy got the toughest fight on the card. I knew that. I knew who Villa was. I didn't know who Chukhadzhian was, but I knew who Villa was. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like Speedy had a chance to put Villa out of there. Speedy was trying to run from the power, Teach, right? When I feel like he should have met him. You don't go straight at a power puncher, and try to knock him out. That's how you get knocked out. But you wait till about the 4th, 5th round, 6th round, then you start to increase it and put it on him. I'm thinking Speedy thought that dude was going to let off the gas. Maybe Speedy thought that he was going to quit. Maybe Speedy thought that he was going to throw in the flag. Maybe Speedy thought that he was so far up on the cards that he could go on cruise control and just win the fight. I think Speedy thinking that he could cruise control that fight, maybe cost him that fight. Now, without the knockdown, Speedy wins that fight again, 8-4. You know what I mean? Fucking 9-3. Something like, it was 5 rounds. So he wins that fight 7-3, right? He wins that fight 6-4 or something like that. You know what I mean? But with the knockdowns, he left it up in there. Speedy should be mad at Speedy, and I think Speedy was. I could look at Speedy's reaction after the fight, after they called it for Villa. He know that he left meat on the bone. He left it on the table. Speedy could have got that dude out of there, but he let that dude live because he was so far up on the cards, and he thought it wasn't going to catch up to him. He's okay, T. For me, I felt she did everything 80-85% correctly. A lot of the flaws he had was very limited. And Teach, I agree with that. It wasn't a whole bunch of mistakes made. Facts. It wasn't a whole bunch of mistakes made, Teach. Not at all. It wasn't. Not at all. But he made just enough mistakes, Teach, to cost him the fight. When you step up in competition like that, you know what I mean? When you step up like that, he made just enough mistakes to cost him this fight. And we could say, okay, Okay, we could take it into consideration, right? I'll be fair to Speedy, because Speedy my guy. Speedy is on my goddamn fantasy boxing roster, understand? Right, that's my guy. I'll be fair to him. He coming back off a layoff. The other dude only gave him one round, right? So maybe he just won in the swing of things. Some people were saying before the fight, why Speedy fighting Roman Villa in technically his first fight after being off 2 years. Why Speedy got the toughest matchup on the card. Why Speedy first couple matchups was harder than Boots' first couple matchups. Why Speedy first couple matchups was harder than Boo Andrade first couple matchups, which we're going to talk about Boo Andrade fight as well, because some people feel like Boo Andrade lost a step. But anyway, let's get back to Speedy. We're about to get out Speedy for a second. I appreciate everybody sliding through. 23 people in the building. Can I get all 23 of y'all to smash that like button? I got 23 people in the building. I got 20 likes. I know everybody in here ain't hit that thumbs up. If y'all could, hit that thumbs up for your boy. Whether you just passing through or you here for the duration, we greatly appreciate you if you could get involved in the conversation. Y'all can smash that like button for your boy. YouTube already in this thing making my early morning videos go yellow. But the good part is my two yesterday, stayed green, but they already making my first junk yellow. They already made this junk yellow, and I ain't even said nothing, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But I could greatly appreciate everybody if y'all could smash that thumbs up for your boy. Greatly appreciate you. Fizzle, what's good, pimp? Glad you can make it, King. Shout out to my guy TWT in the building. Jelly Bean, what's good, pimping? Jelly Bean said Speedy pulled the Keith Thurman. Seemed like he looked gassed. He did. I think he gassed just a little bit. So he was definitely gassed, Jelly Bean. Villa was gassed too, but he had enough power reserve still. Yep, man. Speedy left. Speedy literally was up about, 7 rounds almost. He was up 6 to 7 rounds, maybe, 8 rounds. You know what I'm saying? He was up 6 to 7 rounds easily. And I know he got to be, beating himself up at least a little bit this morning, man, knowing that he schooled that dude. He schooled him. That's why, like, it's the saying in boxing, right? You can't play with your food. Right? There was a point in that fight where Villa looked like food for Speedy. There was a point in that fight where Villa looked like food, right? You can't play with your food. Speedy started smiling. Speedy started walking apart. Speedy started, posing and shit like that. You know what I mean? He was playing with his food a little bit, man. I think he was playing with his food a little bit, and that the stamina bug caught up with him on the back end. I felt like he was playing with his food a little bit, and the stamina bug caught up with him on the back end, man. But Speedy Rashidi Ellis lost his fight last night by, was it split decision or majority decision? I think it was a majority decision. Speedy Rashidi Ellis lost. Some people feel like Speedy got robbed. I don't necessarily feel like Speedy got robbed. I feel like Speedy, kind of gave that fight up a little bit. I feel like he gave it up. Speedy didn't lose that fight because Villa was better than him. And those be the losses that hurt the worst. When you know a guy not as good as you and he beat you, those be the ones that hurt the worst, right? So now where I'm at is I'm interested. Yep, he lost. Now I'm interested to see, how Speedy handled this mentally, who he fight next, and where he go from here. I like to see Speedy stay active because I do think activity, right, played a part in that. No, I'm not making excuses for him, right? But he has been inactive for a minute. He had one fight that was 1 round, and then he fought Roman Villa. I do think activity played a part in that somewhere. So I like to see him get right back in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Stay active. See how he look at his next fight. You know what I mean? Put him in there with a guy of the level of a Villa, right? And, see how he look in his next fight. But I don't think it's over with for Speedy Rashidi Ellis. You know what I mean? I still think he'll be a valuable opponent. Maybe now, he may get the big fights, right? Maybe somebody may feel like they'll be able to get him now. You get what I'm saying? So it ain't over with for Speedy. I want to see how he look, on the comeback. I do think that he gave the fight up last night. I don't think that Villa won the fight. I think Speedy lost the fight. You know what I mean? But I digress. So now we're about to talk about Boo Boo and Desmond Nicholson fight, right? Mike the Reaper said Boo Boo in trouble with Charlo also. I think Teach said pay him and get that rematch for sure. Yeah, I like to see a rematch. He's an OT. That was a title eliminator. Did Villa get the IBF? Or does that mean he gets the fight with Boots? There was an IBF eliminator, and the winner of that fight got Boots next. Teach. That was always the silver lining. Speedy Rashidi fucked up the bag. Though I was telling my brother Five, the fight was already made. All Speedy had to do was fucking win. All he had to do was fucking win. He had the fucking bag. You blew the bag, Speedy. You blew it. You blew the headline. You blew the big one. You was $1 million. $1 million plus. Damn, Speedy. Is this why people don't come to the PBC? Is this why people don't come to the PBC? And on there we go moving forward, right? Boo Andrade, right? His PBC, his PBC premiere, right? This was Speedy Rashidi Ellis' second fight on the PBC, right? He fought a replacement fight. He was supposed to fight Villa the first fight for the replacement fighter. So he won his first fight, lost his second fight, but the fight he lost was supposed to be his first fight. So technically, he lost the first person he was supposed to fight against. You get what I'm saying? But he ain't make it past 2 fights. But anyway, I digress, right? So we got Demetrius Boo Andrade. Now, I said before this fight started, right? Before this card started, right? I said this fight with Desmond Nicholson and Demetrius Boo Andrade, this shit gonna be entertaining. If it don't be nothing else, this fight between Andrade and Desmond Nicholson, the shit is going to be entertaining, right? I said this shit gonna be entertaining. Now I also said somebody get knocked out. Now nobody got knocked out, right? We had some knockdowns, right? Nobody got knocked out. We had some knockdowns. So I was wrong, right, about the knockout, but I was most definitely right about this being one of the more entertaining fights on the card. But guess what? Shout out my boy Desmond Nicholson. Ben B-Dog said even without the knockdown, Speedy Rashidi Ellis should have won. I ain't really gonna argue that. Because my scorecard shit, he only lost by like 2 points. But if he hadn't got knocked down 3 times, he would have won. If he hadn't got knocked down the 3rd time, he would have won. He got knocked down 3 times in the championship rounds. He gave away 3 rounds of the fight in the last round, right? So if he won every round, that means it was 7-3. It was 7-3 at the end of the fight. So that means if one of the judges had gave him 3 rounds throughout the fight already, you know what I mean? That means he would have won by 1, right? And if any of the judges had the fight, 4-5 for Villa, right? Even without the 3rd knockdown, Villa would have won by 1. He got knocked down 3 times in the championship round. So I can't even argue and say robbery or nothing like that because, man, he ate the dirt 3 times in the last round. You know what I mean? He ate the dirt 3 times in the last round. But that's Speedy. That's Speedy, right? That's Speedy, right? Boo Andrade, right? I saw some good stuff by Boo. Combinations, ladder move it, punch it down the middle. Only downside is no power. Can't fight Benavidez with no power. Shout out my guy Teach. Quick. What's good, quick? Appreciate you sliding through this thing. TWT in the building. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on there. Hey, did y'all see the Meek Mill? Did y'all see the Meek Mill video of Meek Mill and the Gary Russells getting into it? But appreciate you sliding through this thing, 817. Glad you can make it, pimp. Glad you can make it. Quick, we said Boo Boo need to keep Charlo name out his mouth. Nah, it's time. It's time. He's a nigga. He's a tough guy. He's the one that ended Berlanga's chaos. Yeah, B-Dog. That's what I'm about to get into, B-Dog. That's what I'm about to get into. Though I was finna say before you had said that, before you had said what you said about Speedy Rashidi Ellis. He said Boo Boo needs to keep Earl's name out of his mouth. You jumping the gun, quick. Rock with me, quick. Right with me, quick. We almost there, man. We almost there. We almost there, Queen. We almost there, Queen. We almost to the boo-boos. I mean, we almost to the boots. Boo's next. Boo's next. Nah, man, I didn't. Speedy Rashidi Ellis blew it. Speedy blew it, bro. My boy Speedy blew it. Blew that shit sky high. Blew the fucking bag. He messed up my bag. He messed up his $1 million. He messed up Ricky bag. He messed up Shower bag. He just messed up the bag all the way around this Speedy. Now, Deadman Nicholson, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He said, yeah, EB, I got questions. Yeah. I got questions right now. I'm about to ask some questions right now, D-Free. I got questions, I'm about to ask some questions right now. I'm upset with the Meek situation. It shifted the momentum around. But yeah, Teach, slow down, y'all. Slow down. Slow down. Quick. Teach. Slow down. Quick. Teach. Slow down. Slow down. Y'all eating the meat out the bone. You ain't supposed to eat the dinner before it's done. Dinner ain't done. And y'all trying to eat. Get out that kitchen. Y'all in the kitchen. Get out the kitchen. Get out the kitchen. Get out the kitchen, man. Get out the kitchen. We finna get to that. Can we talk about Boo Boo? Let's talk about Boo Boo for a second. Let's talk about Boo Boo and Damon for a second. Can we talk about Boo Boo and Damon? We gonna get there because it's so much we gotta talk about Boo Boo. It's so much to talk about Boo. You saw how long I just stayed on. You saw how long I just stayed on goddamn Speedy. We got something to talk about with Boo. It's something. It's here, y'all. We here. We on everybody on the PBC. I just told you. I said, damn. Is this why niggas ain't coming to the PBC? So let's just talk about it for a second, right? And I ain't said I'm one of them dudes. You know, they say everybody's scared of PBC, right? But Adrian Broner said something, right? Adrian Broner said, Big Tex, what's good, King? Appreciate you sliding through this thing. TWT in the building. Adrian Broner made a statement like a week and a half ago, right? Adrian Broner said, PBC don't mind paying you. They got that money. You just got to fight Godzilla, right? So, Speedy Rashidi Ellis had his premier fight on PBC. He lost it. Boo Boo had his first fight on PBC, his premier fight, right? Like his premier fight as in his first fight. Speedy Rashidi Ellis' premier fight as in his biggest fight. You see how one word can mean two different things? That's why you got to pay attention to context and listen when people talk. But I digress. Speedy Rashidi Ellis' premier fight, right? He lost. Boo Boo Andrade premier fight, right? And he didn't do as well as some people thought that he would. Now, before this fight started, I told y'all Deadman Nicholson was going to give Boo Boo a run for his money, right? I was telling people, I don't think, Boo Boo going to knock this guy out. But they was talking so greasy, right? I was like, man, somebody go get knocked out. Now, nobody got knocked out, but some people got knocked down, right? But let's talk about the performance of Boo Boo Andrade, right? Now, y'all want to know what I saw? I saw Boo Boo come out guns blazing. Kind of similar to Speedy Rashidi Ellis. He came out guns blazing, right? He was putting hands, feet, and toes on my boy Deadman, right? Early in the fight, right? But, Deadman, like the crafty veteran that he is, he a young veteran. He ain't even an old veteran, right? He like 29 years old. He a young veteran, right? He ain't even an old veteran, right? Boo Boo was hitting him with some shit, but what Deadman did was Deadman weathered the storm. Deadman Nicholson, a lot of people don't know, he's the guy that stopped Edward Berlanga's KO streak. Shout out Deadman Nicholson. It's something special about Deadman Nicholson, right? Because every time he's in a big fight, right? Every time he's in a big fight, we learn something about that A-side fighter. We learn something about that elite prospect or that elite fighter that Desmond Nicholson fight. And it's normally something that we, that we didn't see. Now, exposed would be the wrong word to say, right, for what he did to Boo Boo, but he did expose something in Boo Andrade, right? What's good, OG Eric? Appreciate you sliding through this, Jump Pimp. Glad you can make it, brother. But Desmond Nicholson exposed something in Andrade yesterday, right? He exposed two things that I saw, right? This is just what I saw, right? Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Shit don't make no sense. Set your stupid ass up, T, right? This is our conversation time. Conversation Sundays. Let's get it. This is what we're here for, right? Spit y'all shit. Pop your shit. Pop your shit. Pop your shit. But this is what I saw, right? This is what I saw. His power was exposed a little bit because where he did knock Desmond down, he couldn't knock Desmond out, right? It was more so like flash knockdowns, right? It wasn't necessarily like stun, wasn't even stunning knockdowns. It was like flash knockdowns. He exposed three things, right? He exposed the power, right? Boo Boo doesn't have that power where he could put you out, right? And when you face, the elites, or Desmond's not an elite, right? He's an elite athlete. Desmond is an elite athlete, right? But when you face the elites, right? When you get an elite athlete along with a guy who's a boxer, an elite boxer of your level, what you did yesterday with Desmond, that ain't necessarily gonna work. You either gonna have to work on, carrying your power to the back, because Demetrius Andrade has power. Desmond exposed him being able to carry his power to the back end of the fight, right? And Desmond also exposed Demetrius Andrade's gas tank a little bit, because I was one of the people saying Andrade does got a gas tank, right? He got a gas tank. Yeah, he got tired this time, he got tired that time, but that's not something that he does, on the regular. But now it's starting to become more common. I don't know if it's because he's getting up there in age or whatnot, but it's starting to become more common, on the back end of the fight. Andrade loses something off his movement. He loses something off his punches, right? He slows down a little bit. He's more susceptible to getting hit on the back end of those fights. So Desmond exposed his power. He exposed his gas tank. Pretty much what he did, everything, all of the questions that people had about Andrade, Desmond Nicholson exposed those, to kind of be true. Appreciate you. Shout out my guy, Big Homie Coop. Appreciate you sliding through this, John, Big Homie. My guy, True La Butler said, Peace, Speedy ran out of gas king, and he didn't listen to his corner. I didn't really hear, what his corner was saying, so I can't say yeah or nay on that. But he most definitely, like, he ran out of gas. He said, definitely power and gas tank. The reason why I brought up Benavidez is because he's not coming in at 68 fight night. He will be a light heavyweight. Yep. Facts. And what Desmond Nicholson did last night, right? I was about to get into it a little bit. I'm about to get back on track, right? Being a veteran that Desmond Nicholson is, right? Boo Boo had the power early. Boo Boo got great speed, right? Desmond weathered the storm, right? Desmond, the third thing I was saying was Desmond exposed that if you could weather Boo Boo Andrade's storm, right, you have a chance to beat Boo Boo. Desmond is an elite athlete, right? Desmond is an above average boxer, right? You put him in there with an elite prospect, you put him in there with an elite fighter, he's going to give him a run for his money. He's the guy that you want to put your fighter in there to give him a test, right? A good fighter, an elite fighter, because if your fighter ain't ready, Desmond the kind of guy who will beat your fighter. You get what I'm saying? So if you got he's a guy that you put your fighter in to see where he's at next. He's not the elite upper echelon of boxing. And this guy, you know what I'm saying, Boo Boo struggled with Desmond Nicholson. So let's just say, right, the fight that that we want, the fight we've been building up, right? The reason Andrade came to PBC, let's just say you put Andrade in there with a guy like Jamal Charlo. If you're going to fade, right? If you're going to be fading, if that's what you do, because now I've seen you do it against Lynn Williams. I've seen you do it against Desmond Nicholson, right? historically, right, the power isn't really known to be that great. I see you have pop and you have some power, right? But not the one-shot knockout power that you may need at this division. Andrade is coming up from 160 to 168, right? Charlo is a bigger guy than both Andrade and Desmond Nicholson, right? So if you can't necessarily carry your power or you can't carry your stamina, right? Or if you just slow down naturally over the back end of the fight, Jamal Charlo has never been dropped. He's never been stopped, right? So Jamal Charlo isn't the guy that I'm guessing is going to be put out of there. If Desmond Nicholson can use his veteran tactics, hold him, headbutt him a little bit, you know what I mean, hit him in the body, talk shit to him, mentally get him out his game, physically push him off his rock, right? And he could get his way through 12, make it an interesting fight. I'm pretty sure that Jamal Charlo, right, who's also an elite athlete, Desmond Nicholson and Jamal Charlo share one thing. They both are elite athletes, right? But Jamal Charlo is an elite fighter, just like Boo Andrade. So now you stepping in the ring with a guy who's an elite athlete like you and who's an elite fighter like you. You know what I mean? The stuff that Boo Andrade got away with last night, he's not gonna be able to get away from that in that Charlo fight. He's calling for a Charlo fight, and I very well think that fight, could be next. Charlo said he wanted to plant Benavidez winner. Who knows? Who knows? Shit, maybe we get those two. You know what I mean? Maybe we get that fight like in the summertime. You know what I mean? Charlo in Houston against, Boo Andrade. Who knows type deal. But I saw last night, right before the fight last night, in the back of my mind, right, I had Andrade slightly, and I love Jamal Charlo, right? I had Andrade maybe slightly above him, like 55-45 Andrade in that fight. But after last night, I think I got to go 60-40 Jamal Charlo. Because one thing about Jamal Charlo, his stamina carries to the back end, his power carries to the back end, his heart carries to the back end, his mental carries to the back end. The Charlos are two of the most durable boxers in boxing. I call them the most durable boxers in boxing. As far as durability goes, I got Mal Charlo number one. You know what I mean? I call them the two most durable boxers in boxing as far as durability goes. Charlo is one of the most durable boxers in boxing. So now I'm looking at it. If you fade late and you stepping in there with an elite athlete like you, an elite fighter like you, and he has the durability, right, that you seem to be kind of losing towards the back end of your career, right? I got to give that fight right now to Jamal Charlo. I got it like 60-40 Charlo, and I think Charlo may be able to stop Boo Andrade, you know what I mean, in the back half of that fight in the championship rounds, because this was a 10-rounder, right? If you fight Charlo, you will have an extra 2 rounds going into that. You had 2 more rounds last night if you was fighting Charlo. You know what I'm saying? So Speedy Rashidi Ellis has to go back to the drawing board, right? I think Demetrius Boo Andrade need to really look in the mirror right now and see exactly what he want to do and where he want to go. Because I think right now, with the way that he performed last night, right, in his PBC premiere, that fight between him and Charlo, they just got a little more interesting. I think that fight just became a lot more interesting, right? I think that fight just became a lot more interesting. T said, I think I would count Nicholson as a harder test than Ryder, and the other guy Ryder fought. Nicholson most definitely, I think, is a harder test than Ryder, right? Nicholson and John Ryder, right? Yeah, I most definitely think, he's a harder test than Ryder, right? But Boo Andrade, man, I gotta say, I wasn't too impressed with Andrade's performance last night. Speedy Rashidi Ellis, left a lot on the table. I know he beating himself up, right? He lost his fight. Andrade won his fight, right? But Andrade left, he left some questions to be answered, right? I tell you this, I want to see that Charlo fight before Andrade fight. I really want to see it now, right? At first, I thought somebody was going to get stopped in Andrade versus Charlo. Now I know somebody going to get stopped in Andrade versus Charlo. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see, what the hell, what actually happened with Andrade after this. I'm interested to see what happened with Speedy Rashidi Ellis after this, right? So let's go ahead. Let's go and get to the co-main event, right? So let's get to the co-main event. Now, y'all see the question I got up there, right? I got 38 people in the building right now. Can I get all 38 of y'all? I got 38 people in the building. I got 36 likes. Can I get all 38 of y'all to smash that thumbs up? Greatly appreciated. Whether you just passing through. I don't know if this is your first time, but if you could not make it your last time, could you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel? Greatly appreciate you sliding through. We having a boxing conversation. Feel free to drop a comment. Don't just be a fly or a stranger on the wall. If you one of my peeps who just here because you fuck with me, say, hey, I'm glad you're here too. Greatly appreciate you sliding through. Trill here. What's good, Trill? Appreciate you sliding through this, Young King. Glad you can make it. Teak said, I still have Boo Boo over Maul, but I agree with a lot of the things that you said. Right, I had it like 55-45 Andrade, but man, after last night, it gave me cause to pause. You know what I mean? Because man, if Jamal could get Boo Boo into the night in 10 rounds, I could see Miles stopping Boo Boo. I don't think Miles gonna be getting, Miles ain't gonna get stopped with none of that shit early. Miles probably ain't even gonna get dropped with none of that shit early, right? And if he do, he's going to get up. You get what I'm saying? So I think they could get ugly for Boo Boo late. Teach maybe TKO stopping Jamal. Jamal hit hard, bro. Jamal hit like a brick. That boy be hitting with bricks on his hand, dog. That boy be hitting with bricks on his hand. So I want to see Andrade and Morel. I want Andrade and Mal. So what you saying is this ain't the zone or Golden Boy. In so many words, A17. Now, I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking questions. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like, A17. I'm just saying, is this why people don't come to the PBC? Again, Adrian Broner just said, PBC will pay you that money. You just got to fight Godzilla. Did he mean Roman Villa? Did Adrian Broner mean Roman Villa? What? Hold on, time out. Adrian Broner said, PBC will pay you that money. You just got to fight Godzilla. Did he really mean Roman Villa? God damn it, man. But anyway, I digress. He just Speedy won, but he gassed badly. Yes, he most definitely gassed in that motherfucker, man. Gassed. I think, but look though, Trill, let me tell you why I think Speedy gassed. I think Speedy gassed because he let that fight get to the later rounds. I think Speedy had enough to put that man out of there earlier, but he chose to let him live. He chose to walk the park. He chose to throw the jab and shit. He chose to look cool and shit. Want to go out there, do the windmill and shit. He want to do all that bullshit, right? He want to do all that shit, and he let that man hang around, and he end up putting motherfucking hands on his ass. That's what happened. He ended up putting hands on his motherfucking ass, and that's just what happened. He could have put that man out if he wasn't looking at himself performing shit. He could have won. If he would have pressed the gas, you don't go right into there pressing the gas on the power punch. That's not what I'm saying, right? You don't go right in there pressing the gas on the power punch. You box him the first 4 like he was doing. He made Villa look like he didn't belong in the ring with him. He made him look like he didn't belong in the ring with him. The first 7, really. The first 7, he made it look like he didn't belong in the ring with him. He was supposed to let him kind of gas out a little bit in the first, right? Box him like he did. But from the 4th, 5th, and 6th, he supposed to have been turning up that gas on him. And by the 7th, he would have been putting him out of there instead of gassing in the 7th, right? You get what I'm saying? It's just the style. He could have switched his style up and got a different result. Like all Breadman did with Caleb Plant was switch his approach up, switch his game plan up a little bit. And that gave Caleb Plant, you know what I mean, the knockout. You know what I mean? You preserve your gas tank by doing that also, you know what I mean? And even if you don't put him out in the 7th or 8th, right, he'll be beat up a little bit to where he's slowed down with you. It ain't just you tired and him still full strength because all you did was pity pat him for 7 rounds. Now you done ran out of gas and you can't pity pat no more. Pity patting is cool if you got the gas tank to do that for 12 rounds. Floyd was in tremendous shape. People sleep on Floyd Mayweather's shape. The shape Floyd Mayweather was in. That was one of the... What's good, Omega Red? Appreciate you sliding through this, young boss. Glad you get... Floyd is one of the most in shape niggas in boxing. He said, damn, there was Godzilla. I'm telling you, Adrian Broner said it. How you going to cut the ring out somebody who's on the pogo stick, he's on the outside, to say, cut the ring off? Who you talking about? Trill? Who you talking about? Now, Villa didn't have to cut the ring off because Speedy eventually just sat there. Speedy wasn't supposed to make him have to cut the ring off like that. Speedy was supposed to put it on his ass. He wasn't supposed to make him cut the ring off. He was supposed to put it on his ass. 4th, 5th, and 6th. So even if he gassed out in the later round, Villa would have been beat the fuck up too. Speedy was pity patting him too much. If you can't pity pat for 12 rounds, that can't be your game plan. Speedy, you've been out 2.5 years. You shouldn't have came in trying to pity pat a guy. You saw the first you talking about Boost. Yeah, we gonna talk about it. Yeah, we did. We do supposed to be on Boost. Y'all got me back on sheet. Yeah, Boost. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. Yeah. We gonna talk about it. D-Young, what's good, D-Young? He said, salute, big bro. Good night of boxing. I saw a lot of maturity in Tank Game last night. Boost got some work to do. Shout out to my guy D-Young. Appreciate you sliding through. He was on the ropes too much, Mike, in the back end of the fight because he ain't have his legs in gas tank no more. He should have stopped pressing on his ass, man. He should have stopped pressing on his ass early. Because he didn't press on him earlier and he got tired, the dude was able to press on him. He couldn't move no more. He had to engage. And then when you wait till you have to engage, you don't got your legs, your arm strength, or your gas tank no more, so your punches ain't as hard. But if you choose to engage a little earlier, you got more wherewithal to put hurt on him too, to slow him down for the later round. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You can't pity pat all 12. At some point, you got to put some hurt on him. So even if you don't knock him out, he'll be slowing down a little bit. Kind of like Tank did. You get what I'm saying? But let's go and talk about these Boost situations. I didn't just holler at Trill for no reason. He talking about Boost, I'm talking about Speedy, right? Because I'm supposed to be talking about Boost. He on point. I ain't on point. So let's get where we're supposed to be at. Speaking of being on point. He said, go back to the fight. Right, D-Well. And all Ellis had to do was stop trying to use his legs. Everybody keep telling me his legs, he wasn't supposed to be using his legs that much. That's the problem. You saw in the first 7 rounds that you could outbox him with your legs, right? So how about in the 4th round, you start to mix it up a little bit. You start to put some crack on his ass, right? You stop using your legs a little bit. You get in there. You put some cracks on him, right? Because eventually, you trying to use your legs, you're going to have to eventually take them punches anyway. You can't run from taking the punches. You got to take some punches. Shakur know that. You got to take some punches, right? So you might want to start on him earlier. So even when your legs go, if your legs go away, he'll be hurt too. He let Villa hurt him. He ran out of gas. His legs went away. He let Villa hurt him because he was pity-patting Villa. He was winning the fight easy, but he didn't have the gas tank to keep up the pity-pat, to keep up the boxing match. He ain't had a gas tank for it. Villa took his legs away. He should have been trying to take something away from Villa too. You know what I mean? He should have been hitting Villa with that shit. What Villa was doing was letting him box. Villa played the long game. Speedy front ran. Villa played the long game. That's what I'm saying. Speedy should have played the long game. If you see you could outbox a guy, don't wait until the 8th where you tired and your legs gone and you gotta engage. Engage with him when you got the legs. Engage with him when you got the power. Villa didn't win that fight. Speedy lost that fight last night. And those hurt more than anything. When the man don't beat you and you beat yourself, those hurt more than anything, bro. Speedy was clearly the better fighter, yo. D-Well. Speedy was clearly the better fighter, yo. Clearly. He said Villa wouldn't have caught Karen. Dude had serious stamina. Yeah, Karen had great stamina. He said, I see a right hand job in Boo's future. He said, right, you have to sit on your punches at some point. I get it. Outbox a guy, get up on the scorecards a couple rounds, outbox him. Oh, shit, I can outbox him. Outbox him 4 or 5 rounds, get up on the scorecards. But you got to put that hurt on him to slow him down. You got to put that hurt on him eventually to slow him down. Speedy never switched. Speedy never transitioned. He was boxing. He should have boxed a little bit. You know, fight mid-range, fight inside. Box a little bit mid-range, inside. You know what I mean? It was all boxing. You know what I mean? It was all boxing all night. He's a hard comparison with Shakur since he makes subtle movements. If she did have step back game like Shakur, I guess he wouldn't have got. That's what I'm saying. He got engaged. Even if Speedy was never sitting down on his punches, Speedy would play the outside game. Speedy would throw it straight. Speedy wasn't even throwing his hooks. He wasn't throwing nothing. He wasn't throwing hooks to the body. He was just boxing with the stick and the jab. You know, Shakur throw the stick and the jab, but Shakur ripped to the body like no other. Shakur got one of the best body hooks in the game if you're paying attention to what you're looking at. Shakur ripped to the body like none other. Speedy wasn't. He don't got to do it like Shakur. I'm just saying Shakur is a guy, right, who has foot movement, but he don't use it the whole fight. He uses it when necessary. You get what I'm saying? Caleb Plant with Canelo used a whole lot of foot movement. Caleb Plant with Darrell still used a nice amount of foot movement, but he used a lot less than he did with Caleb Plant. There were times where Caleb Plant engaged with Darrell. Again, Speedy was going to have to take the punches anyway. Speedy problem was he didn't want to take no punches. He swing hard. I don't want to get hit at all. You was going to take him anyway because you let the fight go so long. You almost got out of there, but you end up getting beat up the whole 12th round, which is what lost you the fight, the 12th round. So you got to know how to make guys miss in the pocket to conserve energy. It's hard to ride that bicycle all night. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But if you could do it, D-Web, you could do it. If you could box 12 rounds, if you got the gas tank, the energy to do it, you could do that shit. Because I've seen people do it, right? It can be done. But guess what? Even look at Floyd Mayweather. Floyd didn't even went on the bike the whole goddamn fight. Even Floyd sat down, engaged, and made people miss in the inside and shit. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, you know, you gonna have to. Said PT Speedy was slap boxing, looked good until he got gas, but he never hurt him with the slap boxing. Facts. And know what I'm saying, brother? Is that true to say? Philly has all-style boxing, and Boo's been in gym faithfully. I just found it disappointing that he didn't know how to cut the ring off. All right, let's talk about it. We on Boots now. All right, we on Boots. So Boots fought this guy that I didn't know shit about. I didn't know nothing about him, bro. I'm not really sure if y'all knew too much about him. Maybe y'all did, maybe y'all didn't, but I'm going to keep it one. And I know a lot of boxers, right? I be up on my shit. I had no clue, you know what I mean, who this guy was, right? Just really wasn't, my cup of tea, I guess, you know what I mean? But Boots fought this guy named Chukhadzhian, right? Most folks, me being most folks, right? Most folks like myself, right? We had Boots stopping this guy, right? Some of us had him stopping him in the second. Some of us had him stopping him in the first. You know what I mean? I had him stopping him in about, 5. We knew this thing wasn't getting past 6, right? We just knew this thing wasn't getting past 6. So the fight got past 6, right? The fight got past 6. But it was questions to be asked in this fight right now. Before this fight, right? Like myself, right? Most people, we looked at Jaron boost Ennis as next up. We still do look at Jaron boost Ennis as next up, right? Nothing has changed in that aspect, right? But there's even more people, right? Not like myself, right? who looked at Jaron Boost Ennis as like unbeatable, as the boogeyman, as the monster of 147, right? Now, I see Jaron Boost Ennis is extremely talented, right? I see that, understand it, right? But some people feel like that, Jaron Boost Ennis loses to nobody. They feel like he could beat everybody from 147 until 160. You get what I'm saying? I've heard people say this numerous times. I feel like Boost could be anybody from 147 to 160. I heard people say that. So there are some of those people out there, right? Boots had a fight last night with Chukhadzhian, right? Now, I will say this. D-Well said Boots won every round, but Karen had some flashing rounds where he was catching Boots with a few shots. D Young said that's why us as boxing fans shouldn't say these guys are tomato cans. Those Eastern European fighters, especially the Ukrainians, are using the style the media says is boring. Shout out to my guy, D Young. Yep, you're absolutely right about that. Right? So Boots had a fight last night, right? The thing went 12 rounds. I agree with my brother D-Well. I couldn't find a round to give Karen Chukhadzhian, right? I was looking for a round to give him, right? Just because, damn, I wasn't expecting him to go that far, right? He was using, good foot movement, right? He was catching Boots, with some shots. He was catching Boots, with some shots in between, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. I never seen the guy, really make Boots have to work that hard, right? Now, somebody said earlier, I forgot who it was, they just said it, right? But somebody alluded to it earlier. The Karen Chukhadzhian guy, right? He was moving a lot. He was moving a whole lot, right? You know what I mean? Now, I gave Karen 2 rounds. I really couldn't find no rounds to give him. You know what I mean? But he was moving a lot, right? He was moving a whole lot. And then I saw my other guy say, how could you, cut the ring off on somebody, moving a lot, I guess. My thing is, you learn to cut the ring off for that reason, for a guy who moves a lot. That's why you cut the ring off. A guy being as athletic as Jaron Boost Ennis is. So are we saying that Karen Chukhadzhian was more athletic than Jaron Boost Ennis? Now, I saw it a different way, right? I saw it, but I saw a slightly different way. What I saw was Jaron Boost Ennis didn't cut the ring off. And I don't think that's not because he can't cut the ring off. Now, y'all ain't gonna like this. Now, I don't think that, Boots can't cut the ring off because Boots is a superior athlete. Boots could cut the ring off on anybody. You get what I'm saying? I do believe that he is capable. He was capable of cutting that ring off last night. I don't think he did cut the ring off last night, right? But I think that's because he chose not to cut the ring off because he let the knockout, he let the Mike Tyson videos, I got to get this knockout. I got to get this dude out of there. And he chased the man around the ring. He didn't cut the ring off on him. He chased him around the ring, right? He just chased. There were literally times where Boots ran behind him, like ran to him. Instead of, if you run sideways, you run diagonally, you get him where he's going. But there were times where Boots actually ran to him. Boots followed this guy around the ring the whole night. Now, he won every round in my eyes, right? It was no threat of him losing this fight at all. So I'm not saying that by no shape or form, right? Boots was in no trouble to lose this fight. But I don't think that he did that because he can't cut the ring off, because he's a superior athlete. But what that showed me last night, right? What that showed me last night is that Boots could be taken out of his game, right? Now, I'm not sure what the game plan was, right? But I'm sure the game plan wasn't, follow him around the ring all night. And, Boost threw a lot of looping shots. He landed a lot of shots, right? But he threw a lot of looping shots. And he opened himself up for the guy, you know what I mean, to land on him. I don't think the game plan was to follow him around the ring all night, you know what I mean, and throw those, those looping shots, right? I don't want to call him wild, right? But Boots is a wide puncher, right? I didn't see him do this enough, right? I think it's safe to label him, right? Boots' jab is sharp, right? But when Boots throws his hooks, he opens himself up real wide. And that's where Chukhadzhian was able to get his shit off, right? Now, Chukhadzhian didn't have the power to hurt Boots, to wobble Boots, or nothing like that, right? But I'm noticing the pattern with Boots, right? Boots is a hittable guy. Boots is a hittable guy. He said, did you hear Boots in the corner? I believe this round we will get the KO. No, I didn't, man. I didn't. I didn't have the sound on. He said, well, that's why you get the guy out of there. He wasn't engaging. Boots ate out his shots. He should have stepped the pace up and started relying on his athleticism and use your skills. Yeah, baby. I'm finna get to it. Yep. I'm finna get to it. I'm reading y'all comments, though. He said, I agree. He was chasing the knockout instead of letting it come to him organically. Yeah, facts. That's kind of what he's saying, too. You know, athleticism over skills. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm getting somewhere. See, y'all started, I went with it. Y'all said skills, right? And what I said was, I feel like Boots chose to do that. I don't think that, I don't even think that he lacks the skills, right? But he chose not to use his skills. Y'all see where I'm going? I think Boots showed us that he could be taken out of his game. That's an IQ thing, right? Boots could be the sharpest man in the room. He could be the sharpest boxer in the ring. He could be the best athlete in the ring. But if he can't mentally keep himself on the game plan, if he can't mentally see or understand that, well, I should cut the ring off on him more, and that shit not gonna work because he did his some, but he never stuck to cutting the ring off. Eventually, he always went back, to pressing for the knockout, to chasing them instead of cutting the ring off. I think last night Boots exposed a bit of a IQ flaw, not a skills flaw, right? Because he won every single round, but he chose to follow that man because y'all not finna tell me that Boots couldn't keep him in front of him. Y'all not about to tell me Boots couldn't have cut the ring off. Are y'all telling me that Chukhadzhian is more athletic than Jaron Boots Ennis? Dude, what's good? Appreciate you sliding through this thing. Is that Boots really came in too cocky? He didn't listen to his dad either. So what y'all telling me is Boots won't listen to Bozy? He said, yeah, these free people on my head for saying that. I will admit I'm wrong. When I rewatch it, he said, teach that man didn't win any rounds. He just made it look competitive. Okay, let me get y'all beat. What's good, dude? Appreciate you sliding through, right? Now, y'all not finna tell me, right, that Boots couldn't stop that, man. Y'all not finna tell me Boots couldn't cut the ring off on him. Y'all not finna tell me dude was running. I don't care, bro. If Boots had to cut the ring off the right way, if Boots had to stuck with it, eventually you wear a guy down. Eventually you wear him down if you do it the right way. I saw Boots. This what I saw. I saw Boots right early. He started to fight out jabbing high, jabbing to the gut, jabbing high, jabbing to the gut, following with the hook, right hook, high, gut, changing levels. But after a while, Boots stopped changing levels. He stopped firing that straight to the gut. He started firing that jab to the gut, right? And he started just chasing the hooks, the uppercuts. You know what I mean? He was still throwing his jab, right? But he stopped firing the straights to the body. He was still throwing the hooks to the body, but he stopped firing the straights to the body. You get what I'm saying? That was working, right? Now, I know he's not Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd Mayweather is like the master, right? So it's easy to go there. It's easy to go there, and he does everything right. So I like to use him because that's the fighter that you want to watch when you're doing shit right, which Boots did. Flashes early, he looked like Mayweather with the stick, the stick there, the straight, the hook. He looked like, you know what I mean? But he didn't stick with it because I think a knockout coming. And he started chasing it, right? And then dude just started running around the ring, right? And Boots just kind of followed him. But if Boots had to step to the fundamentals, cut the ring out, believe in it, stay patient, break the guy down systematically, right? You don't have to knock him out in the fourth. You could knock him out in the 10th. It's still a knockout on your record. When they pull up your record, the round you knocked the guy out in, it don't say what round you knocked him out in. It just say knockout. If you systematically break Chukhadzhian down, he can't run around the ring like that for 12 rounds. I don't feel like Boots stayed disciplined within his IQ to stick with cutting the ring off. He wanted to chase him and just land on him instead of sticking to what he know. Because he come from a family of boxers, instead of sticking to what he knows, sticking to the skills, sticking to, the game plan. What y'all telling me is, well, I don't know. I got to go back. I got to go back and listen to it with the sound, because I ain't listening to it with the sound. right? Because I didn't watch Boots and Tank fight because I actually sat down and watched their fights last night. But I went back. Well, I went back and I watched the other ones. But what y'all sound like, what y'all saying is Bozy didn't really instruct him to. It sounded like Bozy was telling him to go get, the knockout, right? But I feel like Boo showed a IQ issue last night, or a discipline issue, or a defensive discipline issue, and staying with what he knows, staying to the basics. I even say on offense, you know what I mean? I think he showed. I think he showed a lack of boxing IQ, because physically, I know he could cut that ring off on him. Chukhadzhian is not a better athlete than Jaron Booth, so he could cut that ring off on him and he could slow him down bit by bit. He just wanted to skip the part where he slowed him down bit by bit and go straight to the knockout. You know what I mean? And that's what I saw from Jaron Booth's Ennis. I also saw, like I hit on it a little bit earlier, I also saw that Jaron Booth's Ennis, his punches, he throw his hooks, right? And he throw a lot of his best shots. He throw them kind of wide, right? He throw them kind of wide. He leaves himself open, for some shots. Lipinets was able to, to punch in between Boots, right? Chukhadzhian was able to punch in between Boots, right? What's the guy? Another guy, it was Lipinets, Chukhadzhian. It was another one. Another guy, I forgot his name right now, but it was a third guy also, right, who I saw who was kind of landing on Boots, right? He was kind of landing, he was able to punch in between them. So what I'm looking at now, right, even with the athleticism, right, even with as good a boxer as Boots is, his aggression sometimes get him caught with punches because he wanted to get his off so much, right? And the fact that, he wants to get it so bad, he presses it, right? He wants to get it. So sometimes he does throw away, his skill set, right? Because he knows that he's athletic enough to sometimes, fight through, things. Kind of like Roy Jones, right? Kind of like Roy Jones, where, he has all the athleticism in the world. Sometimes he can do things that nobody else can do, right? He said Booster instructed him well, but again, he wanted Booster to go for that KO in the late rounds. When you rewatch it, you'll see what he's saying. Okay, bet for sure. Shout out our brother said peace T. Boost got hit with some good shots also, but he took Boost off his game plan. Boxing is based on moving, stick and move. Yep, and he could have broke the guy down, right? I feel like if he had stuck to the lateral movement, because Boost did use lateral movement. It wasn't that he couldn't cut the ring off, because he cut the ring off on him sometimes, but Boost would cut the ring off on him, right? And then he would get excited. And then he'll start back chasing the knockout, right? And then he'll go right back to just chasing him around the ring because, he had some success. That's kind of a young fighter's thing. Maybe it's not an accurate thing, right? Maybe just a young fighter's thing. He was excited, right? But doing that, being excited, or, just not, just pressing on them, not sticking to the game plan, not having the discipline or, the IQ or the want to, right? Maybe I should say the want to, you know what I mean? To stick to the game plan, to trust what you learned in the gym. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, he was chasing the KO, dude, right? He was chasing the KO. And if you chasing the KO, right, with a puncher, because these guys are able to lane in between your shots, they just don't have the power to make you pay for it like that. You know what I mean? We see that you can be hit. If a guy has the power to make you pay for it, then that could be a different fight, right? He said he didn't say go for the KO. He said something like, this is the round, we will get it. Okay, bet, for sure. For sure, Teach. I'm going to go back and look. He said, it reminds me of versus Mike Garcia. It's hard trying to get a top-level guy out of there who's just there trying to survive and knows how to survive. Right. I would agree with you, but Chukhadzhian, now, okay, D-Well, now they compare Boots to Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. They can compare Boots to the best in the division, right? So I would give you that one if he was actually fighting Mikey Garcia, or if he was fighting the guy the level of a Mikey Garcia. He's fighting Karen Chukhadzhian, right? Yeah, he just trying to survive. Mikey is a much, much higher level, and Mikey wasn't even on his bike like this dude. Boots showed the ability to be able to cut the ring off on this guy. He just chose to follow him around the ring instead of cut the ring off on him. If you go back and watch the fight, Boots was having success with the jab, stick to the body, and cutting the ring off. But when he started landing more, he threw that away and he started, chasing the KO. But I can't give you that one because Chukhadzhian not Mikey Garcia, right? And we actually compare Boots to Errol Spence. So I can't give you a guy like Mikey when we saying that Boots is going to beat Errol Spence, right? It's people who feel like Boots beat Errol Spence, right? Errol would have stopped Chukhadzhian for sure last night, right? And that's really a fantasy fight. It'll never happen, right? Because Chukhadzhian ain't on the level of Errol Spence. But we saying Boots is, right? You get what I'm saying? But Errol Spence, a guy like Chukhadzhian, would get his ass smoked. A guy like Mikey Garcia may be crafty enough to get through there. Mikey Garcia, he may be crafty enough to get through there, right? Not Chukhadzhian. Not Chukhadzhian. You know what I mean? He said he called himself the best welterweight, so that's what comes with it. Yeah, in fact, like, I can't give you Mikey Garcia and Chukhadzhian. The two don't necessarily equate, especially when you got Boots saying you want Errol Spence, right? If you fight Errol Spence, that way, Boots. If you fight Errol Spence the way you fought Lipinets, you fight Errol Spence the way you fought Chukhadzhian, right? Right? Because those guys were able to land. Those are two fights that jump out at me. Those are two fights that jump out at me, right? Those the fights. Like Boots got wide shots, man. If you fighting a guy like Errol Spence, a guy who gonna be catching and shooting with you, Boots like to catch and shoot. Earl turn too, just like Boots turn. People are asleep on Errol Spence athleticism as well. Go watch Errol Spence fight your Danes Ugas. He turning too. He turning throwing uppercuts too. You know what I mean? So you got a guy who gonna be catching and shooting with you, who's stronger than Chukhadzhian, who's stronger than Lipinets, right? Everybody telling me, right, that you beat Errol Spence. Everybody telling me you beat Terrence Crawford, right? You got it's things. I still believe that Jaron Boots Ennis beats Bud Crawford, right? And I still believe last night, for me, just confirmed, that Jaron Boots Ennis probably isn't ready for Errol Spence Jr. just yet. I would much rather see that fight at 154. I would much rather see that fight at 154, right? I would much rather see it at 154. Yeah, it's only one way to know, for sure. It's only one way to know, but I tell you this. If we put your Daniels Ugas in that ring, you know what I mean? I don't know now. Like, dude just ain't have enough for him. What's good, rap? Appreciate you sliding through this thing. God body. What's good, God body? Shout out my nigga, God body. He's out here you coming from, T. Yeah, he's supposed to get a guy like, you know what I mean? He got to get him out of there, man. He got to get him out of there. Chris Algieri, I got a question, y'all. Who y'all think is a better boxer, right? Who y'all think is this the one, D-Well? Who y'all think a better boxer? Karen Chukhadzhian or Chris Algieri? I said, Karen Chukhadzhian or Chris Algieri, real quick. I think Bud beats Boots. I used to think that. I thought that before Bud fought Avenida. I tell you this. I don't know, man. You might be right, man. I don't know. Before Bud fought Avenida, right? I had Bud over Boots. And then after he fought Avenida, I was like, nah, I got Boots over Bud. Bud fought Karen Chukhadzhian last night, right? Now I don't necessarily think Boots watched Bud no more. I don't think Boots watched Bud no more. I think that's like 55-45 now. First I had it like 60-40 Boots. Now I got it like 55-45 Boots. Trill, he moved better than that. He's a much more fluid mover than that, bro. Old Algieri don't move like that. Chris Algieri, when he was Chukhadzhian age, relative to the Boots fight, Earl Spence fighting Chris Algieri was Boots fighting Chukhadzhian. And actually, Algieri was actually a champion already in another division. But Algieri moves better than that, bro. He's a much more fluid mover than do, and his offense is better when he moves with his shit. Algieri is better offensively. Algieri is better defensively. He's a more fluid mover than Chukhadzhian. Chukhadzhian got scary movement. He was afraid. That man was running. That man was circling. That man was afraid. He was scared. Algieri is a much fluid mover. His offense is better in between the moves. Not the dude Conor Benn fault, but the dude Earl Spence fault. Much better than Chukhadzhian. Much better. Is I know more about Algieri than Kerry. Hard to say. From one fight in the U.S. One of them was a champ. The other one wasn't. Yeah, he way more dangerous. Algieri way more dangerous. Algieri really got offense too. Now, he ain't got the power, but neither does Chukhadzhian, right? But prime Algieri, no, you stop, guy. Boots was supposed to stop that man, bro. Y'all not finna tell me, no, y'all not telling me, no. Boots supposed to stop that man, bro. With everything that we were saying before that fight, with everything that me too, which is why I'm here talking about it, because y'all know T consistent, right? Nah, man, you got to stop that guy, bro. If you beat Earl Spence, if you beat Bud Crawford, that guy gets stopped. That guy gets stopped. Does that guy beat David Avanesian? You know what I mean? We got to compare Boots to the best because that's what we've been doing, right? So we compare them to the best. Does that guy beat Avanesian? Does that guy go the distance with Ugas? Does that guy go the distance with Sean Porter? Does that guy go the distance? You know what I mean? He said Boots not ready for Spence yet, but he might. Yeah, but he might be. He has to listen to the corner. He was boxing for the crowd. Has to be focused. He said, since they say our backfires run too much, what the fuck was that shit Chukhadzhian was doing? Facts though. Now that's true also. He just a little T dropped in my way, my hand, smash the like button. Great brother. Keep on that gas. Great content. Appreciate you. Shout out my guy Matthew Bishop. Matthew Bishop, do your boy a favor, Matthew Bishop. Can you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel? Really appreciate you sliding through. For whatever reason, YouTube ain't, YouTube got my junk yellow, but we gonna rock out. We gonna rock out for a second. We got the football games, a little later as well. We in this thing having us a boxing conversation. We gonna rock out, man. What's good, Picasso? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Picasso. Glad you can make it. He said fluid give you that and better skill. You said that. The dude was running. Yeah, the dude was running, bro. That was scary. That was scary movement. The stage was too big for who? Do I say you said that? The stage was too big for who? You talking about Boots or Speedy? You talking about Boots? We talking about Boots right now. I still think Boots is ready for Bud and Earl. Just not running through them like some people were saying. That shit was on. Yeah, now we could agree on. Now we could agree on that for sure. I did like running through them. No, compete with them. Yeah, it's interesting for sure. Damn, do you feel like the stage was too big for Boots? For real? That would make you say that. I ain't never thought that. I just thought it was him, forcing the maybe he wanted to force the knockout. I just thought he was kind of forcing the knockout a little bit. Like he wanted to get the knockout. I felt like he was having success boxing though. It's like he was having success, right? He was having success. It's not that he can't cut the ring off. It's that he chose not to. Because there were times in the fight where he did it and had success. You know what I mean? There were times where he did it and it was highly successful. It's just that when he was getting off, he'll try to press the gas on him, and then the dude will start moving on him. Some people are just come forward and let Boots punch on him. That dude wasn't letting Boots punch on him. Boots would punch him, and Boots would try to get out, but do the move, and Boots would start chasing him. He'll chase him, and then before he know it, the round over with. He'll hurt him early in the round, right? Then he'll start chasing him, trying to get him out of there when he should have just went back to the boxing. When he hurt him, instead of running to him like his instincts tell him to do, which is why I say it's an IQ thing, right? Like his instincts tell him to do, instead of running straight to him. When he hurt him, start laddering sideways, throwing your hooks to where he going. When Boots hurt him, he running to him. His senses tell him to go to him and run through him when he should be running to the left where he going. You know what I mean? Walking him into the hooks. You know what I mean? He throwing into the hooks, but Chukhadzhian is evading them. If you cut the ring off, you know what I'm saying? You keeping them in your box. You keeping them in your line of fire. You keeping them on your line. You know, you cutting the ring off with them instead of lunging to him. Drip, what's good? Drip, boy, it's been a minute. Let me see if you wrenched up, fam. Let me get you wrenched up, Drip. Shout out my boy Drip, but let me get you right, King. Let me get you right, Drip. Let me get you right, pimping. There you go. There you go. But hell yeah, I digress, right? But yeah, one day he couldn't. Hey, y'all smash that like button for your boy. I got 48 people in the building. Can I get all 48 y'all to hit that thumbs up for your boy? If this your first time, don't make it your last time. Subscribe to the channel as well. We talk this good boxing every single day. You know what I mean? Feel free to drop a comment. You know, we just cooking up, shooting the shit right now. We talk about whatever we want to talk about. I still ain't got the tank day. We on Booth. We about to get the tank. We still got the show. Wake y'all asses up. We at an hour and 30. We about to get to Tank Davis right now. It was lit. It was lit. You can't. We on the main event right now. He's at T. He doesn't know how to do that yet. He does chase. Now, D-Man, I think Boots know how to do it. We still ain't talked about Tank yet. Y'all ain't going nowhere. Tell some more people to come here. Hit the like button, subscribe. We ain't done. We ain't got the Tank. Yeah, we talked about, you think he got robbed? Yeah, we talked about Speedy. I think he gave the fight up. Dripper. I think he gave it up. But yeah, we talked about it. Matter of fact, bro, let's get this Tank conversation in, and then we could double back and talk about whatever the fuck y'all want to talk about. I swear to God, we can double back and talk about what the fuck y'all want to talk about. But let's talk about this Tank thing, right? Real quick, right? Boots, I still think Boots is the third best welterweight in the division, right? He said we in it to win it, T. Shout out my guy, Matthew Bishop. Appreciate you sliding through this thing. Right? So he said, tell you what, let Boots get in there with EJ. I think right for what's best for Jaron, right? I think that fight most definitely should happen at 54. I think they both will be, I think it'd be better, it'd be a better fight. Because right now, I don't think Jaron Boots ready for Earl Spence. I think him and Bud is a more competitive fight, right? Bud more his speed right now, right? But right now, nah. Before, I thought maybe him and Earl was 50-50. I was him and Earl 50-50, 55-45, something like that. But now I'm thinking that's like 60-40 fight, 70-30, 65-35, something like that, 65-35, something like that, 65-35, something like that, man. You know, some shit like that. But I digress. He said he boosts great. Okay, I read that. OG Eric, what's good? He said, tag me out. Oh shit, my tool gone. I'm gonna chill in G. Your tool gone? Your tool ain't gone. Oh, your tool is gone. Hold on, let me get you right. My bad, OG. Let me get you right, OG. We got some NFL, NBA best too, OG. If you want, you know. But y'all smash that like button for your boy. 43 people in the building, 56 likes. I'm finna wrench up OG. But yeah, man. Drip said Boots was there versus a guy with the best footwork I ever seen. Nah, there wasn't no best footwork. Boots got. So you telling me that guy got better footworks? You telling me that guy got better footwork than Boots? Y'all not finna tell me that man got better footwork than Boots. Nope. Because I seen Boots have success cutting the ring off on him. Boots just, every time Boots landed on him, he wanted to get him out of there so bad, he started chasing his ass, trying to walk him down and shit, when he could have just stayed disciplined and I think he would have got his ass up out of there. That dude didn't win a single round. He never won a round. Never won a round. To me, some people said they gave him 2. Some people gave him 4. I ain't give his ass 1. I tried to find something to give him. I might have been able to give him 1 if I go back and, watch it. I couldn't give him nothing. You know what I mean? I couldn't give him nothing. He said that's a whole different fight with Bud and Spence. Boots would definitely land more on those guys since they don't have a lot of movement, especially Spence takes hits to give hits back. Right. No, they got ran. Spence is in there catching punches. That guy was never catching shit. He just ran. Right. What I'm looking at is how that guy was able to land on him. That guy was able to land on Boots in between heels. Y'all thinking about Boots hitting them. Y'all not thinking about them hitting Boots. Boots is getting hit flush. And that dude was running around and he was able to hit Boots. You know what I mean? We saw Lipinets hit Boots plenty times. Right? Yeah. You think Earl gonna be there to be hit. He gonna be there for you to swing more. You better check up. You better look up the defensive. You better look up the defensive stats for 147. He gonna be there for you to swing more. You not hitting Earl. You're not hitting Earl with all that shit. And you got to think, when you throwing your hooks, when Boots throwing his hooks, Earl throwing his shit too. Chukhadzhian wasn't even firing back at dude. Wasn't even firing back at Boots. But when he did fire back, he was landing. You know what I mean? Who got more one-shot power? Bud and Earl or Chukhadzhian and Lipinets? Who got more knockout power? Bud and Earl or Chukhadzhian and Lipinets? Boots has shown that he can be caught in between his punches. Right? Boots is catching guys clean. He not knocking them guys out. He not knocking them guys out, Teach. Boots is catching. He didn't even knock Lipinets out. He TKO'd him. He was conscious. Is Earl and Bud more durable than Lipinets? I would think so. Is Earl and Bud more durable than Chukhadzhian? I would think so. He hit them clean. Because still Clayton wasn't unconscious, right? I don't even think he was hurt that bad. I think he was just tired of fighting that boy quick, right? But he's not knocking the guys out, right? But I've seen Earl Spence knock somebody out cold. I've seen Bud knock somebody out cold. I've seen Earl and Bud knock people out cold, the level of Chukhadzhian. I've seen it. When Earl fought out Jerry, right, who I think was better than Chukhadzhian, he knocked him out. Bud just fought David Albanesian, who I think is about the level of Chukhadzhian, right? He knocked him out, right? Just saying, man, like, you know. He said Boots couldn't catch carrot in the back of the head like he usually do. Y'all fucked up. He said with guys like Lipinets, it was more so the back. Shit. Here y'all go. We talking about Tank. I just seen 3 people say something about back of the head shots. Boost secret weapon. That's why I was talking about Boost secret weapon, man. He said fast team early on Spence's career. He was sleeping dudes like this, making adjustments through the fight. And I think Boots can make the adjustments. I just think his mind is just telling him to seek and destroy. That's an IQ thing. He got to get out of seeking. This is boxing, right? This is boxing. He said Boots 112 with a dancer Spencer Bud. They fighting back, not riding by. Yeah, right, but they gonna be in the pocket, right? They gonna be Boots again. I'm gonna say it again because I think all right. Boots has shown that he can be caught in between his shots. If somebody, let's say somebody had the power, right? Or let's say somebody had the skill to be able to fight with Boots on the inside, Lipinets didn't have the skill or the power to do it. Chukhadzhian didn't have the skill or the power to do it. But it has been shown that Boots can be caught in between his punches. Chukhadzhian got hit with Jaron Boots in his punches. He didn't knock him out. Right? He stopped Lipinets. He didn't knock him out. So that leads me to believe that Errol Spence and Bud won't be knocked out by Boots' punches. Right? So they're going to hit Boots. Boots is going to hit them. Right? They hit harder than Chukhadzhian and Lipinets. So what I don't know is, because I seen Jaron Boots Ennis be susceptible getting caught in between his shots. He threw a lot of wide shots. I seen him being susceptible, getting caught in between them. Right? I seen Errol Spence knock out a guy, right? Cold. I seen Bud knock out a guy cold. The level of Chukhadzhian, right? I seen Errol Spence fight a better boxer than Chukhadzhian. It's not that Jaron Boots Ennis couldn't cut the ring off on Chukhadzhian. He was cutting the ring off on Chukhadzhian early. He was cutting the ring off. I'm going to say it again. He was cutting the ring off on him. But he stopped doing it once he started having success landing on him. He started chasing him instead of being disciplined and sticking to what he was supposed to do to create the knockout in the later rounds, to slow the guy who was running down. Y'all keep telling me he was running. I'm trying to tell y'all why he was able to run, because Jaron Boots Ennis ain't stick to the game plan and break him down for the later rounds. He was hurting him and chasing the knockouts, and that dude had the wherewithal to keep moving because Jaron wasn't cutting off the ring. Y'all trying to make me believe that Chukhadzhian is athletic enough to stay away from Jaron Boots Ennis when he's not. Jaron Boots Ennis allowed that man to do that because he followed him around the ring and he didn't stick to his discipline, cutting the ring off. He did it well. He didn't stay disciplined enough to continue and stick to it. You get what I'm saying? Y'all telling me dude was running. Boots allowed him to do that because Boots followed him around the ring. He didn't cut the ring off on him. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, them gonna be there. Them gonna be there. Boots hit Chukhadzhian clean a bunch of times. Boots hit Lipinets clean a bunch of times. He never knocked him out. Earl is slipping punches. He's moving. You know what I'm saying? He's countering you. He's punching you back. He not running around the ring. That's not going to be Earl game plan. Now, Earl not going to use Chukhadzhian game plan. Now, Earl not going to do that. Earl going to make you miss a different way, though. He going to make you miss a different way, though. And the thing is, Boots leave himself open for them shots when he's swinging. Bud just knocked out a guy the level of Chukhadzhian and Avanesian. Bud knocked him out cold, right? Errol Spence stopped Chukhadzhian. He stopped them. Avanesian, Chukhadzhian. Now, Chukhadzhian is better than both these guys. I just got to, these just the guys that Errol Spence be fighting, just be next level, and people just be looking over it. But anyway, I digress, right? Avanesian, Chukhadzhian, Chukhadzhian, right? About the same level. Avanesian and Chukhadzhian for sure. Chukhadzhian is the level above those guys. You got to stop guys. You got to stop guys. You know what I mean? And he could have stopped him. He could have stopped him, but he did stay disciplined in, he did stay disciplined in, the game plan and what he was supposed to be in there doing. Y'all do your boy a favor, right? Y'all do your boy a favor. I got 44. Now we about to talk about this main event. And before we get into the schematics of it, right? Before we get into how good the fight was, how guns blazing it was, punch after punch after punch after punch. You get what I'm saying? How guns blazing it was. He just deep boxing. I'm with you on the Boots versus Ugas, though. There will be a real test. Make it happen. Make it happen, Captain. Because Speedy Rashidi just fucked up the bag. But I digress. Yeah, quiet as kept. Chuck came from one. Don't tell him that power rap. So did Delorme. So did Lipinets. So did Chuck. Anyway, I digress. And so did Chukhadzhian. Similarity. But Chukhadzhian, you know. But I digress. Said did Tank wear a bigger glove than Hector? Them gloves look big. He probably wore some padding on his gloves because of his hands, which maybe had something to do. With Hector being able to survive that long, right? But I think he did have some gloves to protect his hands and shit that fight. The Ugas team asked for it before too, so I don't want to hear everyone ducking. Said Speedy got robbed 1-9 was all him. Did my big dog dirty. Shout out to my guy A1 Hoops on. Appreciate you sliding through this, John King. Glad you can make it. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. We still cook. We about to talk about the main event. Y'all right on time. We about to get into the main event. And I got one question to ask y'all first. I'm going to go and get right into it. Before we get into the schematics, before we get into anything like that, I want to ask y'all something real quick. Now, I'm not saying this shit was staged, nothing like that, because I don't feel like it was staged. Because why would Gary Russell be helping Tank Davis, buy time for a fight, right? I don't feel like it was staged at all, right? But hear me out. Do y'all feel like that when Meek Mill and Gary Antoine and Gary Russell Jr., do y'all feel like when Meek Mill and all the Antoines and Gary Russell them, when they got together, right? When they had that do y'all feel like when they had that break, right? It was a break in the action. Right? Now, at that point, let me ask y'all, right? Let's go back for a second, right? At that point, Hector was starting to kind of impose his will a little bit on Gervonta, right? If Hector had flashes in that fight, Hector had times in that fight, Hector had moments in that fight. Around that time, right, Hector was having a moment. Now, some people, I'm seeing this. It's a real thing. Some people feel like, right, that time, not saying it was staged, no, right? Because some people saying it's staged and all that shit. I ain't saying it was staged. I'm just talking about the incident in itself, right? Some people feel like that Hector was starting to press on Tank at that time, and that incident bought Tank a little time in the fight to kind of recover himself. He said the ref should not have stopped the fight. Teach, okay, let me ask you a question, Teach. Teach, do you feel like that at that moment in the fight, right, do you feel like Hector was kind of, building some steam in the fight? Let me ask y'all that. Let me ask y'all that fight, right? Because y'all told me y'all answers. Y'all don't feel like that, it helped Tank, right? Can I ask y'all this? Do y'all feel like that at that moment that Hector may have been building some momentum, in the fight? Y'all do your boy a favor. I got 53 people in the building. I got 64 likes. Can I get everybody in here to hit that thumbs up? If you ain't, if this your first time in the building, could you please not make it your last time? Could y'all smash that thumbs up? Subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate you sliding through, winning this thing, having us a boxing conversation. Y'all really right on time. We didn't get to the main event. You know what I mean? So y'all really right on time. But what I'm asking y'all right now is, right, at the time of, the Meek Mill and the Gary Russell situation, do y'all feel like there was one of the moments when Hector was having his time, right? Let's see. Ghost said Hector was landing pretty good and catching Tank pretty clean before the stop. Ghost, no. He said he would have lost either way, but the timeout wasn't needed. My guy H3 Mike said hell no. You said hell no too. Do you think there was one? Do you think Hector was having a moment? I asked two questions, right? So I'm gonna ask y'all one question right now. One question. The first question is, right, at the moment of the stoppage, right? At the moment of Meek Mill and Gary Antoine and Gary Russell Jr. When Gary Russell Jr. and Antoine and Meek Mill got into it, right? At the moment of that, do y'all feel like that Hector was having the moment? Do y'all feel like Hector may have been gaining some ground? That's the question. I want y'all to answer that. I want everybody to answer that question. That's the question. Do y'all feel like Hector may have been, having the moment or gaining some ground at the moment that Meek Mill, Gary, Antoine, and Gary, and Mr. Gary Russell Jr. got into it? He said Meek Mill posted on Twitter he got into it with a boxer because he was arguing the fight was not going 12. The Russell brothers were saying it was, or Tank was getting work. Yeah, facts. Yep, that's exactly what was going on. Shout out to my guy Drip pulling back through. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, family. Yeah, that was exactly going on. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all jab that like button for your boy. He said the ref stopped the fight after Tank stopped the fight. He said if that was the case, then Hector should have kept going then. He said Tank punching Hector all around his forehead. That man was blind. Miss Joette said, hell no. Hell no to which question, Miss Joette? Appreciate you sliding through. Said in that moment, Hector had a little momentum going. B-Dot, that's what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see, was I tripping? I'm trying to see where everybody is. I'm trying to see. Because I'm going to ask another question. I'm going to ask another question first, but I want to see. I want to get this. I want to see where we was at. I want to see was we in the same place or where we was at exactly at the moment of, the break in the fight. He said it was Meek Mill versus Gary Russell brothers. That fight was a continuum. Yeah, it was Meek Mill versus the Gary Russell brothers. Yep. He said it threw Hector off his shit like 06 when both sides up, strap, and fight. Fight still going. Hector. Say that shit again, Trap. Say it again, Trap. He said, cut it out, T. Hector was in trouble when he signed. No, Mike, I ain't talking about that, Mike. No, Mike, I'm talking about the fight, Mike. The fight, the actual fight. The actual fight, Mike. I want you to take yourself back to that moment. Take yourself back to that moment, Mike. The actual fight. I'm trying to see what we were seeing. I'm trying to see where we was at, right? I'm trying to see what we were seeing, right? At the moment when Meek Mill and the Gary Russell brothers, Mr. Gary Russell and Gary Antonio, when they got into it, what do y'all feel like that Hector was building some momentum? That's what I want to ask. He said, I felt Tank was winning the round, but Tank wasn't aggressive enough to hurt him. After the break, he came out with a different aggression. He said that shit helped Hector more than Tank. I think I ain't asking that. I ain't asking that yet, D-Man. I ain't asking that yet. I'm asking at the moment of the break. At the moment of the break, not the whole fight, not the round, nothing. At the moment of the break. At the moment of the break, do y'all feel like Hector was building momentum or he was having, one of his moments? He said, I believe the outcome was going to be the outcome, though. Facts, me too. Me too. I do too. Most definitely I do. Matthew said, no, T. Hector was not landing cleaner shots than Tank at that point. He said, Hector stopped fighting just like Tank. What happens outside the ring don't have shit to do with inside the ring. They could have continued fighting. D Free said no. Miss Joette said no. So we got D-Man, Miss Joette, D Free said no. We got Ghost, B-Dog, myself. A Street Mike said no. Myself. Who I think Teach said in the moment. Yep. Trap said it through it. So we about even and we about splitting here. We about split. Devon Griffin said, yeah, a little. So Devon Griffin. So we about splitting here. So we about split on her on what we was feeling like. Matthew said no. T said, if you want my opinion, I felt it could have gone to the next round without Hector eyes getting messed up. He said Hector was getting off a little bit, but not doing no real damage. Trill said it wasn't like Hector was doing enough damage. That was making a difference. He said Hector told his corner that he was blind. Yep, right before they stopped the fight. He said everybody touches Tank. He's a low output guy. But when Tank touches back, though, at that moment, I want y'all to answer at that moment, I ain't talking about Everybody. I'm talking about at that moment of the fight. At then, like at that moment. I got most of y'all answers. I'm still trying to get A Street. I think A Street, is a no, right, for the most part. So we about splitting here, though. Let's see. He said Hector was supposed to get smoked either way, but it's fact he was landing clean after round 6 and was getting his rhythm and was having his moment. He won some of them rounds clear. Matthew Bishop said, I thought Tank's defense was a lot better last night in his other fights. He said, I'm saying Hector was doing this shit, but everybody touches Tank because he low output but accurate. Tank was never in trouble. No, I ain't saying he was in trouble. He said, B, at that time, he started applying pressure. Who started applying pressure at that time? He said, we all know outcome would have been the outcome regardless, but it's about if he had momentum or not at that time of the fight was stopped. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see, Ghost. That's what I'm trying to see. Like, that's what I'm trying to see. He said someone in Tank corner was telling him he was down there. I can't confirm that. I gotta go listen to it. I can't confirm that. OG Eric said no. He said Tank threw more change-ups than Michelle Rivera, or we talking Mario Barrios. But when he puts in Dwight Gooden with the gas on punches, night. Brown on boxing. What's good, Brown on boxing? Appreciate you sliding through. My guy Brown on boxing. My North Memphis brother came through and said Devin beats Tank, unanimous decision. Trap said, scroll up, T. He said, I do think Hector started landing a kind of left and took off a lot of Tank power as well. He said Garcia was applying pressure at that moment before the count. Okay, bet Garcia. Scroll up to what? He said they had timeout when 6ix9ine got into it with Casanova at Tank Brooklyn fight. Shots were fired in the arena. You talking about today? What you talking about? He said it was Cocky Kenny telling Tank he was down. So they was telling Tank he was losing? I wasn't listening to the sound. They was telling Tank he was losing? Miss Joette, I asked the question. Now, Miss Joette, I feel like Garcia was, I feel like Garcia was getting the better of him at that moment. At that moment, I feel like he was getting the better of him. I ain't say he wouldn't have won. I bet don't take the win by knockout. You know what I mean? But at that moment, Tank was slowing down. He was slowing down. You know what I mean? My guy A Street Mike, look, like he was he was losing it a little bit. Like okay, another question. Let me ask y'all another question, right? Because now Miss Joette think I'm reaching, right? Let me ask y'all another question, right? Because now I'm reaching, right? So let's say this. Have y'all ever seen a guy take that many flush shots from Tank? Have y'all ever seen a guy take that many flush shots from Tank? Let me ask that question. Because y'all know I be trying to challenge. You know what I mean, OG Eric? OG Eric, I be trying to see my trip. Miss Joe feel like I'm tripping, but I want y'all to, if I'm tripping, y'all tell me I'm tripping, right? I got another question for y'all. Have y'all ever seen somebody take that many flush Tank punches before? Like flush. Like flush. Like flush. I'm like, bro. He said, I never heard them say Tank was losing. The trainer did ask Tank if he was looking for Ellaby. What? He said Hector was landing some shit and he was landing clean. He had Tank timing at the moment. He said Hector definitely got a beard. He said no one took that many flush out from Tank before, and no one was able to go with Tank on the inside like that either. He said Floyd did the same thing against Zab Judah. He said not from Tank, right? He said Hector did not seem scared of the power at all. Right, and that's what I'm getting at, right? So my thing is, right? I saw a guy, right? I never seen this shit before, right? He hit Rolly coming in, right? I never seen the guy be able to take his power like that, right? Now, true enough, he knocked his eye loose, right? He probably tore his retina, right? He probably tore his retina, like he probably severely tore that joint because he couldn't even see. Errol Spence tore his retina and he kept fighting. He was fine. He still could see. Garcia said he couldn't see. So Tank eventually knocked his fucking vision loose, right? He eventually knocked his shit loose, right? But Hector was able to not get knocked out in the fight. Never seen a guy. I'm getting somewhere, A Street. He said, but Tank started laying on the temple, then homie went blind. I'm getting somewhere, right? So what's Tank? Could we say, right? Can I ask y'all, right? Do y'all feel like, actually another question, third question. Do y'all feel like Tank's, well, y'all already answered me because y'all said y'all can't, wait, my bad. Do y'all feel like Tank was slowing down before the Meek Mill and the Gary Russells? That was the other question, my bad. Real quick. Do y'all feel like that Tank was starting to slow down a little bit before the Gary Russell and Meek Mill situation? So I asked two questions. I asked, did y'all feel like Hector was building a little momentum? And I'm asking y'all, do y'all feel like Tank was starting to slow down before the Meek Mill and the Gary Russell thing? Just, he said Hector game plan to exchange in the pocket was fatal with a fighter like Tank. He's not Chris Cobra. Yep. And he exchanged in the pocket with Tank, man. And shout out to that man for exchanging in the pocket with Tank. God damn. He just didn't have no power. Mel said he felt like that he was picking it up. Shout out my guy YK Mel. YK Mel, can you do you boy a favor? Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Go said yeah, Jerry said yeah, Mel said nah, said not slowing down, but trying to set him up. So he was doing a lot of gauging, right? He wasn't as aggressive on offense, right? Now, you say he was trying to set him up. I think he wasn't as aggressive on offense because Hector Garcia was getting off on him at that time. That's me, A Street. You say he was trying to set Hector up. I say Hector was causing him problems. Hector was starting to land on him. I feel like Hector was starting to get in his flow a little bit. You know what I mean? I need to find out the scorecards on this. But I felt like Hector was starting to kind of get in his shit a little bit. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. And like my guy was saying, Tank didn't have quite the same power on his punches at that moment. Now, after he got that little break, he came back and he started rocking Hector shit. But at that moment, he didn't quite have, like he might have been taking around off Miss Joe, but he was hitting Hector. It just wasn't it wasn't the same though. It wasn't the same. I felt Tank was slowing down, but not in a bad way. At that moment, I don't feel he had power to do what he did. And that's what I'm getting at, teach. And that's what I'm getting at, teach. David Nicholson just hit me up. David Nicholson just hit me up. Okay, I digress. Shout out my boy David Nicholson last night. Good job against Boo Andrade. He said Hector caught him with something which earned his respect. Don't quote me on this, but the point I'm sure I seen Tank legs buckle a little. My guy Matt said Tank was picking it up, T. Tank throws a lot of change up shit on his punches to give you a false sense of thinking Tank had power. Tank was hitting them, though. What I'm saying is, Matt, Tank was hitting them, but they weren't having the same effects. It looked like at that point, Hector was the one, you know what I mean, getting in his shit. Hector was starting to land more. Tank was still hitting him, but he was landing and throwing less. I think Hector was starting to build on Tank just a little bit. You know what I mean? Matthew, I feel what you're saying, right? You feel like Tank was trying to counter him, right? You feel like Tank was trying to counter him. But I feel like Tank was trying to counter him because Hector was starting to find his shot. He was starting to land on Tank. You know what I mean? He said Hector was getting off. I can't deny it, but it didn't look like he was hurt. Now, he wasn't hurting. Yeah. In fact, A Street, 100% agree. 100% agree. 100% agree, right? 100% agree. Hector wasn't able to hurt him, but he was just landing on him. But I'm thinking, right? What I'm thinking is, right? What I don't know, right? I don't know. But if we don't necessarily get that break, does Tank ever get that second win, get that second boost of power? And does he ever stop him? Or is it a competitive fight, up until, the 12th type deal? I have to check the scorecard to see exactly what the scores was, right? But, you know what I mean? We just never know. Maybe Tank wins on the cards regardless, right? You know what I mean? He wins on the card regardless, right? He ended up getting the knockout. But, I just think at that moment, Tank kind of got a little bit of his juice back. You know what I mean? He said Tank couldn't Leo Santa Cruz this guy. He wasn't rocking through nothing. He respected what he was feeling. And it kind of looked like that. He said no, because his corner, when he was about to pick it up, it was the setup style, because he felt Garcia punches at the moment of the brawl. Tank was down a point. What? Time out. I ain't seen the scorecards. Wait. Wait. Time out. Flag on the play. Allah. Yo. What? Okay, A Street. Man, dog. Okay. He said, word is bud. He said, after the round ended, they had him up. They gave him back half of their round. Unofficial or official. For sure. But I'm just, so, but I do like, just to answer my own question, I do think Meek Mill indirectly helped Tank. And I say the words are powerful, right? Indirectly. Indirectly means that he had nothing to do with it. It wasn't planned. It wasn't no grand conspiracy, because why would the Russells be partaking in a grand conspiracy to help Tank Davis win the fight? The Russells don't like Tank Davis. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, for sure. Yeah. They cleared it up. You know what I mean? So now I don't think it was staged at all, but indirectly, I do think the judges, not the judges. I do think Meek Mill and the Antonios, and the Russells, Mr. Gary Russell and Antonio Russell, I think they gave, Tank a little chance to give his juice back. Now they both got their juice back, right? But Tank is a puncher. So Tank getting his juice back is a little different from Hector getting his juice back. Hector got his win back. You know what I mean? He got some strength back, right? But he ain't get Tank's strength back, right? So I think indirectly, of course he did, right? It helped him out a little bit. It had to, right? Just naturally. It helped them both out, right? But being that Tank is the better fighter, right? It helped him out more because he's just naturally the better guy, right? But I learned, I saw some things in that fight, right? Before that fight, I had Tank Davis over Shakur, like 55-45. I had Devin Haney and Tank Davis like 55-45, right? I think now I'm back to all those fights being about 50-50 because I saw Hector Garcia be able to box with Tank, right? And he landed some shit on Tank. And I think, if he was able to land some shit on Tank, Shakur and Devin Haney, who are bigger than Hector, who have longer arms than Hector, they most definitely gonna be able to land some shit, on Tank. And Hector Garcia also took Tank punches pretty well, right? Devin Haney and Hector Garcia, already sparred, right? Devin Haney and Hector Garcia, Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, are naturally bigger than Hector Garcia. So I'm looking at it as if shit, they could take, Gervonta Tank Davis punches, right? Shakur and Tank Davis can as well. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, over the course of a fight, if you make Tank fight, right? If you could make Tank fight, over the course of a fight, last night we didn't really get to see it play out. But I believe that Tank Davis was kind of slowing down a little bit. And I'm under the belief that if you could make Tank Davis, if you got to be a different kind of specimen, right? Hector Garcia is a different kind of beast because Tank still didn't knock him out. He TKO'd him, right? So you got to be a different kind of beast to begin with, right? But Hector Garcia chose to fight Tank on the inside a whole lot. He took a lot of punches from Tank. Shakur and Devin, even if they choose to fight on the inside, right, it's been shown that now, you could take Tank punches. Hector Garcia is a lot smaller guy than them two, and they took, Tank punches. So, Tank punches can be taken. Rolly Romero went straight into, a Tank punch, right? And even he took some of those Tank punches, just not the one where, he was off balance when he went right into the punch. So Shakur a little more than Devin, right? They not go engage on the inside as much as Hector, right? They're a lot bigger than Hector with a longer reach. So I think those fights for me, they back at 50-50. I think, again, not exposed, right? But Tank is very hittable for a good boxer, right? In order to be Tank, like, it's not going to be a brawler or a puncher. It's going to be a guy that could box. If you could box well, right, you could hit Tank because his extremities, are small. He's a short guy. He's a smaller guy. You could get off on him, right? You know what I mean? If you could not get, caught with too many of those shots, right, you could kind of get off. He said T. Head has officially fought at 135. Shakur hasn't. How we moving to her fast with Shakur 35. Yeah, Hector has fought at 135, but he came, from 130. Just naturally, Shakur's a bigger guy than Hector. Like statue, on reach, he's a bigger guy, than Hector. Just, a bigger guy. Type deal. Devin Haney is bigger than everybody. He's bigger than all of them. You know what I mean? He said Hector come from 126. That is true indeed. He said that man can just take a punch. Ryan has been on the canvas, and Devin has clearly been wild before. Tank whooping Dale / Ryan ass, bottom line. Ryan has been on the canvas. Devin has never been on the canvas, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, he been wobbled, right? True. But I'm seeing Tank, take a whole lot of these punches, right? Devin a pretty big dude, A Street. Devin's a big dude. Devin much bigger than Hector Garcia. You know what I mean? Harder puncher too than Hector Garcia. You know what I mean? The controversy in Tank and Boo's fight and Boo Boo fight wasn't a 12 rounder. Nope. Wasn't a 12 rounder at all, Brody. And it looked like he gassed out. Nope, wasn't even a 12 rounder, man. He's a Hector also got dropped by a jab at 130. Just saying. He's a Hector was WBA. He's still a champ. Yep, he's still the champ down there. He's still the champ down there. You know what I mean? But look, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, man. I'm finna get out the way. I just want to have that tank conversation, man. I just want to. We did the whole little rundown. Tell my guy Desmond Nicholson, man. Good fight, my brother. You know what I mean? Speedy Rashidi Ellis. He blew the bag. He blew my bets, right? He blew his bag. There was an IBF title eliminator that was setting up the Speedy Rashidi versus Jaron Boost in this fight right in front of our eyes. And Speedy Rashidi Ellis blew the bag. If y'all want to get in on these bets I got for later, y'all smash that cash out. We doing NFL. We doing NBA today. Little college NCAA. You know what I mean? Hit your boy up. Got some nice parlays. $5 today. Win you $100. You know what I mean? So every $5 you send will win you $100 on the parlay. We got I think it's a 7 or 8 game parlay. I think it's a 8. We got D for y'all. Yep, I'm finna get out the way. We got an 8 game parlay. You know what I mean? $5 wins you like 105. You know what I mean? Something like that. So if y'all want to get in that junk, hit your boy up, let your boy know. If you can't find me here, you know what I mean? You can drop a comment on one of them videos. You know, I'm bound to see it type deal. He said that some bitch messed up the church money. Yeah, in fact, he did. Rashidi Ellis messed up his bag. He messed up his bag. He messed up my money. Jaron Boost Ennis. Great fighter, elite fighter, right? I think he got to do a little better of staying disciplined on the defensive side. You know what I mean? Because he could have got that guy out of there last night, but he chose to chase that guy around instead of, cutting the ring on him like he showed the ability to do. Because that guy is not a better athlete than Jerome Boots. Now, Butler, you could do send it to that junk. Send it to that junk. I did tool you back up. I told you back up. No, I didn't. My bad, G. There you go. There you go, OG. There you go. That's that junk though. If y'all trying to get in, you know what I mean. Yup, Ellis and Villa was the fight of the night. He said, I'm a hit for the parlay. Okay, OG. That's that junk. But Boots, he said Boots messed it. But I don't think Boots messed the bag up. I don't think Boots messed the bag up. But Rashidi Ellis most definitely, Speedy Rashidi Ellis most definitely messed the bag up, man. That was gonna be the eliminator for Boots IBF. They were setting that fight up. Speedy Rashidi Ellis just lost it, man. So boom. There go that super fight right there. Go my dream, one of my super fights and shit thrown out the window because my boy Speedy Rashidi Ellis couldn't finish the job. You know what I mean? But I digress. Jerome Boots Ennis had a good performance. He said Boots performance. He said Boots performance is getting worse. You know what I mean? That's a conversation for another day as well, right? But I think the guy didn't win not one single round off Boots, right? I don't think he won not one round off Boots at all, right? But I do think, Boots got to be better, right, of recognizing what to do and when to do it. You know what I mean? Boots got to do a better job of recognizing what to do and when to do. Okay, I got you, OG Eric. I see you, OG Eric. I'm gonna put you in. Yep. So the party's 5 for 100. The 5. I got you. I'm gonna send it to you. I got you. But yeah, he gotta just get a little better of just knowing when to gauge, what to do, exactly when to do it. Maloney's, I don't think that Boots couldn't cut the ring off. I think that he didn't cut the ring off, right? Because there were times in that fight where he did show the ability to do it. Early in the fight. He was hitting them, he was changing levels, hitting them with the body jab, hitting them with the head jab, hitting them with the hooks, you know what I mean, setting them up. But I think once he started to have ultra success doing it, I think he got too excited. And that could be him just being a young fighter, right? Or him just chasing the knockout. He got too excited. And then he started pressing too hard instead of sticking to the game plan, being disciplined enough, and continuing to cut the ring off and to sidestep him instead of, you know what I mean, going at him. Continue to sidestep him and throw the punches to where he's going instead of trying to run through him. You get what I'm saying? But I digress. My guy Matthew said Speedy been inactive. really hurt him that night. Yep, it really did. And I ain't gonna make no excuses for him, right? But I said that, you know, when we had our Speedy, you know, session, I had said that it did. You know what I mean? And then him having that 1 round fight earlier didn't do him no good. When he had that 1 round fight against that dude, that's the guy he should have went the rounds with. You know what I mean? To try to get his, you know, to get his legs up on him, to get his you know, his flow back. You know what I mean? Type deal. But yeah, I think that did play a part, right? But Speedy could have put that guy out of there early. Speedy made it look like that guy didn't belong in the ring with him from round 1 to round 7, and Speedy kind of gave that fight up. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna get it back here. I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. Y'all make sure y'all slide over to brother D Free, brother G5, brother Just Do. I know everybody gonna be going live pretty soon. Skin the Hardaway Southern T. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love. And again, if y'all want to get it on the parlays for the day, you know, just drop a comment on here. Y'all hit my line. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna get y'all right. Greatly appreciate you everybody sliding through this time.